Good morning, everybody. Thank you all for waiting. Just had a couple technical difficulties on my end, but we are good to go now. I'm weather and radar meteorologist Becca Parker. Happy holidays, everybody. We're getting to that peak time of the year where everybody's getting into the holiday hustle and bustle, the busy time, and then you're thinking about travel as well. So we're here to help with the travel part for the forecast. We know you want to hit the road and have a smooth ride as much as possible, right, with the weather, and even if you're hitting the skies as well. So we really want to make sure we get this weather information out to you, the forecast information, so you can see all the tools that you can use to follow along with what the weather is going to be while you do your holiday trek. So again, thank you all for waiting. We are going to be taking questions throughout this live, so please drop them in the chat. If you have a question, it's likely somebody else has the exact same question. We're going to be covering the entirety of the U.S. For today and a little bit into tomorrow as well to get started for the holiday travel. And we're doing these today, Thursday, and Friday to give you all the latest information because these are going to be the peak travel days before your holiday weekend. So you can get that going very soon. So again, thank you all for joining us today. Be sure to drop those questions as soon as you have them. And I'll be checking in on them throughout the live so that we can get the latest information to you. Alrighty, so let me show you what's going on here. So right now, what you see behind me, this is the weather radar. This is one of the tools you can use right on your app. And we do have the link in the description below to download the apps completely for free so you can see all these tools immediately at your fingertips, especially also on Android Auto. If you have Android Auto capabilities in your vehicle, we are on there. So this is awesome. You'll be able to use the weather radar while you travel and see the radar right on your screen in your car so that you can know exactly what's up ahead, what's coming, and if it's rain or snow, which is really good for this time of year especially. I'm going to double check that things look good on my end before I get into the nitty gritty. Okay, sweet. Alrighty. So yes, what you see behind me, this is the weather radar. And what's going on across the U.S. right now is, it's a lot of activity across the western portions at this time. I know a lot of you are going to be traveling out of California, and we've got some pretty busy weather going on here these next couple of days. So we're going to get into more details about that, especially. But as far as what's going on this morning on the weather radar, you can see on the current look, we just got mostly cloudy skies sitting here right across the central U.S. If you're kickstarting your holiday travel now, perfect. This is perfect for you. Got some cloudy skies across the central plains and down to the southern plains as well. And a little chilly, not too bad. Maybe pack a blanket if you're in the car, pack a blanket or a coat if you're on the plane. 30s and 40s across this area. To go further north though in the Dakotas, no surprise that it's much colder. We got some of the 20s that are chilling out that area right now. And even a little bit of snow here coming down across the Canada and U.S. border. So very wintry as far as things go across the northern tier of the U.S. And as you get into the east, we're pretty quiet, which thank goodness, just a little bit of snow here across the upper Great Lakes and some cloudy skies here in the snow belts area. But, luckily we got some very quiet skies, mostly across the eastern U.S. We know we had that big storm recently across the weekend, all the way into the beginning of this week that caused a lot of issues. So it's the perfect time to dry out. If you're traveling in the eastern U.S. today, good day to do it. You got high pressure and little in the way of weather issues when it comes to your travel. So let's get into any questions that you may have so far. Awesome. Okay, cool. So I want to get into the nitty gritty of what's going on in the western U.S. because this is where most of the issues are going to be popping up today. So if you have any flights that are flying out of California today, you could have some delays, maybe some cancellations, especially as you get into the later parts of the day, due to a strong storm system that you can see this low pressure system here right off the coast of California. And this is going to be pushing into California and then south and southeastward down into Southern California later today and in the overnight hours as well. This is going to cause some flooding rain issues. Let me pull up what the Weather Prediction Center from NOAA is identifying for the risk areas due to the low pressure here that is going to be causing some issues. Let me transition over to that. All right. So what I'm pulling up here is the excessive rainfall risk for California. And as you can see today, this is really the main area that we're watching for excessive rainfall. And what that means is it's rainfall that's like above average for this. For right now, things that could cause some flooding issues, flash flooding issues, and especially in California, we've got burn scars, and with the mountain areas too, landslides, mudslides. So all those issues are present with this storm system. So that's why we are highlighting this area. We're actually going over a lot of this today on our app if you want to tune in. If you're traveling to California, you got friends and family there, or if you're traveling from California, it's something you really want to pay attention to. It's that time of year where we're going to be starting to see a lot more rainfall, snowfall, mountain snow in the California area, especially across the western coast. So we're getting into the busy weather season for this area, and something you want to keep an eye out for, and this is starting today. So this storm system is going to be causing some flash flooding issues. What we do expect to see is isolated flooding from the northwestern portions of the coast of California all the way down to Southern California, but a big area that we're watching here is that slight to moderate risk. Now these risk areas, it's the 4 levels of the risk areas. The marginal is the green here. That's a level 1. That's a more isolated risk for flash flooding and excessive rainfall. Your slight risk is your level 2. Moderate is a level 3. High is a level 4, and luckily we don't have that right now. But a moderate's pretty dang up there when it comes to being a level 3 out of 4. And what that means is at least a 40% chance for at least a 40% of that area could receive some flash flooding in that area, and that does include Santa Barbara for today. So what this means here is we're going to be seeing some scattered to some widespread flooding issues and some mudslide issues and landslides as rain piles up today through tomorrow morning. Just highlighting this time right now, we could see 4 to 8 inches of rain in that slight to moderate risk area, especially that moderate risk, up to 8 inches of rain. Very isolated areas up to 8 inches, but it is not out of the question. We've got a conveyor belt of the warm, saturated air that is coming out of the Pacific that's going to make this very easy for rain to pile up. The thing about California too is, and why we see a lot of flooding issues, especially along the coast, is you've got mountains in the central portions here. And what that causes is like the rain to just back into it. So what we're going to be seeing here is some rainfall here, but then as you get up into the higher elevations, we're going to see some snow. So that'll add to the snowpack, which great. That'll be awesome. But short term, that does mean we could have some flash flooding issues. So really want to pay attention here today, especially if you're starting your travels out of here. You want to make sure that if you are hitting the roads, turn around, don't drown if you do come to a water-covered roadway. Unfortunately, even if you know that route, water can really diminish the visibility of that roadway. You have no idea it's there underneath. There's been so many accidents and so many people that need water rescues because they're driving over a roadway that is water covered, but the road's not there anymore because the water completely washed it out. And you don't want to be part of that, especially during this time of year. You don't want to bring that onto yourself, your family, or anything like that. Just be very mindful when it comes to traveling here in this area the next couple of days, because we're going to see this again tomorrow, and it's going to move further down into Southern California where we've got higher populations as well. So this is really something that you want to pay attention to, especially because it's that time of year where everybody's getting on the road, hitting the skies as well. Expect delays, expect flight cancellations as well if the rain really does pick up, if there's issues. And give yourself that grace, that extra time, so that you can really think about how you're going to hit the road. If you have to delay things, that's okay. Give yourself that opportunity to delay things because of safety. And it's for you and for everybody else, So this is going to be causing issues the next couple of days. This is what it looks like for today. And again, we're covering this on our app, so you can tune in there as well later today, because all the updates will be there and on our social media pages. For tomorrow, we're looking at about the same area further down into Southern California, but we've got that moderate risk as well, covering the area, and then even that slight risk is covering Los Angeles down to San Diego. So we've got some more flooding issues through tomorrow as well, and that will actually extend early into Friday morning. So it's a wet pattern for the next few days in Southern California, in areas that are not used to seeing so much rain all at once. Could flood easily. And we're going to see some rain rates from half an inch to even isolated areas, an inch an hour. What that means is you got an inch of rain falling per hour. That's a lot of rain in an area that doesn't do well, that you already know that might not do well with drainage or anything like that. It's going to pile up quickly. Before I go any further, I'm going to check for any questions that we have. Okay, perfect. Awesome. Yeah, be sure to drop them, guys. I'm happy to look at them. Let us know where you're at. Let us know where you're traveling to. If you have any specific questions about where you're going, I'm happy to answer it. And we'll be here today, Thursday, and Friday answering your questions, going over the travel, just to make sure you get to your destination safely and you don't have to worry about the weather side of things because we've got that taken care of for you. Alrighty. What I want to look at next too, just in case, because you're going to be seeing some activity there. In California, and then even into the southern Rockies and Arizona, New Mexico area as well. We're not expecting severe weather, which is good. However, thunderstorms are not out of the question. So if you've got lightning showing up on your weather radar in your area, it's not going to be a surprise because it's going to have a lot of instability with it as well. So not enough to become severe, which is great, but you're going to hear some thunder in these areas as well. So because of that storm system. So keep an eye out for that. I also want to point out too. Perfect. Okay. So we have National Weather Service already submitting the flood watches across Southern California. We've also got wind advisories because this wind's going to be kicking up, especially against the mountains. So this is going to be causing some flooding issues, as I've said before. We've already even got the coastal flood advisories in this area up here and flood warnings across just north of the San Francisco Bay Area. Gonna want to keep an eye out for that. It's already starting. We already got the rainfall out there. And I'll go back to the weather radar so you can see a close-up of that rainfall right now and what it's going to look like later throughout today as well. And you'll see that not only on your app, but if you got Android Auto, you'll see that on your car as well. In addition, like I said earlier, we can see some snow from this situation. Winter storm warnings are across the southern Sierra Valley here, or Sierra Mountains here. So we're going to be seeing, 6 to 12 inches above 9,000 feet here, as noted by the National Weather Service, and 3 to 6 inches for as low as 8,000 feet. This is until tomorrow morning. So those of you who are planning on, maybe you're planning on skiing or anything, or just going over the mountains for any travel, this is something you're going to want to pay attention to. There's probably going to be some chain restrictions in the highest passes, so keep a close eye out for that and heed any warnings that you do see. We do have it's winter storm warning, so the winds are going to be gusting up. We've got some heavy snow, which is going to be causing some lower visibility in that area too. So it's not going to be the most fun drive if you're going through that. All right, what else do I want to show you guys as well? Let's go back to the weather radar so I can show you exactly what the tools that you can use are on the app to monitor the situation. So you can have it right at your fingertips. All right. Let's zoom in here. So I talked about that low pressure, right? You can see that perfect swirl of low pressure here right off the California coast. And rain's already moving into the San Francisco Bay Area. Anybody who's already heading to work, I know it's early over there right now. Anybody who's heading to work or is about to start your commute, take it slow this morning. You got the rainfall. And so any places that do have poor drainage areas, you're going to see some flooding issues, some puddling in the areas, and it's going to continue throughout the day. So just be mindful of that. Give yourself some extra time. Let's take a look at what that's going to look like throughout the rest of today as well. So on your Weather and Radar app, and let me bring mine up real quick just so I can show you what that looks like on your app. All right, perfect. I'll put in San Francisco. You can find any different city that you want to find right in here. And it'll pop up for the forecast for you. So you can see here we got some rain falling in here. You can see it right on the app. Get rid of that. There we go. You can see it right on the app here. We got some rain falling with your forecast. The weather radar is showing up right in San Francisco there. And you're going to be seeing that throughout the day. And so let's zoom into what that's going to be looking like throughout the day today. You can already see we mentioned some thunder and lightning, so you can see it here on the weather radar forecasted for today. Here's the yellow dots here are lightning strikes, and you'll be able to see that right on your weather and radar app, and you'll know when the thunderstorms are coming through too. It's a high probability that when you do have thunderstorms, that the rain rates are going to be a little bit higher as well. So expect some heavier rain when you have those thunderstorms coming through. When it comes to the rainfall, that's what you see here, the blue hues. The lighter the color, the lighter the blue, the more shower-like the rain is, but the darker the blue, that's the heavier rain. You can even get into purple here too. So let's take a look at what that looks like later. As that moves in, you can see that swirling right into California. You got those thunderstorm activity. And even some snow, that's where it's showing up here in the Sierra Nevada. That's where your snow's showing up. So we got that winter storm warning active. So this is going to be throughout the day today and through the evening as it moves further inland across California. And it's just swirling down into here. And it does move into more southern California throughout this afternoon and evening. Alrighty, let me show you too. Let's get into Los Angeles here and take a closer look. So you can see those heavier rain rates that are going to be showing up in the darker colors of this area. And we got some snow showing up here too in the mountain areas as well, just east of Los Angeles. So you've got some colder air aloft that is going to be supporting a lot of snowfall too, especially you got plenty of moisture. You got all that whole Pacific Ocean just, providing all that moisture and this low pressure churning counterclockwise and pushing it right into California. So plenty of potential for rainfall as this instability sets up. Let's take a look at through the evening as well. This is just going to move right into Southern California and be pretty consistent. These rain bands are going to show up and kind of sit for a long time. So that's why you're going to be seeing those heavier rain rates and the higher totals in these areas too. So we have that moderate risk that's showing up here today, and then it moves a little bit further south tomorrow. So that's really going to be causing some issues. All right. For those of you who are not traveling in California, I just wanted to highlight that because we've got a lot of stuff going on in that area today. So, and we know we have a higher population over there. So there's going to be a lot going on as far as rain. Let me double check for any questions. Awesome. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Let's take a look at what's going to be happening throughout the rest of the day today in the U.S. So like I said earlier, the eastern U.S. is great. You got some high pressure. Florida, you're going to be sitting under some scattered clouds today, but it's warmer down there, and you're going to be, if you're traveling today, you don't really have any huge weather systems to be worried about right now, especially after this weekend. Things are drying out, thank goodness. So you'll have pretty easy travel throughout the day today, maybe some scattered lake effect snow showers and rain showers here in upstate New York. Not a big deal though in this area, especially for a lot of you who are used to that area. Into the central U.S., again, we're pretty good for the rest of the day today. We got some cloudy skies that are sitting here across the central U.S. But into tomorrow, we're going to be seeing a little bit more activity as the moisture does move into the southern plains. Got some rain activity to be keeping an eye out for from the southern plains all the way up into the Midwest here. So just something to keep an eye out for. It will be warmer. We've got some 50s moving up into the Midwest here. 40s still here across the upper Midwest, getting the 30s as well. That's why you're seeing some snow even show up in Wisconsin tomorrow. So we do have a bit of moisture that's going to be moving here across the area. We're not expecting any severe weather here for tomorrow either. However, it's not out of the question that you could hear a clap of thunder or two in the area, especially across the southern plains here. So pretty soaked for tomorrow. Those of you who are planning on traveling tomorrow, give yourself some extra time here across the area. Maybe expect just like a couple of delays as far as planes if you're hitting the skies tomorrow here across the area. So not a huge deal. Just keep an eye out for any areas that do not handle water well, especially if you're in a drought area. I know a lot of the southern plains and lower Mississippi Valley is dealing with drought. If you're in those areas, the ground is going to have a little bit of trouble soaking in water, especially if it's heavy rain rates. So you're going to notice some puddling and some water-covered areas due to that. So just keep a close eye out for that. What I want to show too on our website, just so you have a couple of tools in your tool belt for travel. Let me pull that up. And it translates right onto your app as well. What you see on our website is on our app. So as you can see here, we got the holiday travel update. That's what we're doing right now. This will be here all day too. It'll be right at the top so that you can go back if you don't have time to stay, or if you know somebody that's traveling today and you want to make sure they see this video to get the forecast, go ahead and click on it, and that live video will be there. It'll be already recorded, and you'll see the information from today, especially if you're in the California area. I know I keep saying it, but we got California going on. All right, so we got the weather radar showing up here, but we also got a 14-day weather trend across this area. So I'm in the mid-Atlantic, and we've got a 14-day trend that you can see if you're going to be planning on traveling over the next week and a half, really. We've got the holidays coming up this weekend. We've got New Year's the weekend after. So we've got a lot of stuff going on, and you're going to want to keep an eye on it keep an eye on the forecast so you know exactly what's going on, and then you can just enjoy. Once you got that behind you, you can just enjoy. So we've got the 14-day weather trend as well that you can keep an eye out for. And it shows you the amount of sunlight, the amount of clouds, the rain chances, snow chances as well as the temperature trends. You got your highs and lows that are going on here as well. Alrighty. I'm going to make sure that we have no more questions at this time, and we're going to wrap up here. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We're going to be here right back at 9 o'clock Eastern tomorrow on Thursday, so be sure to tune in then if you're hitting the roads tomorrow or even Friday, because we'll be here tomorrow and Friday. So be sure to tune in and tell your friends, tell your family if they're traveling as well, that they can tune in to make sure that they've all got the latest information for holiday travel, so your expert forecast is done and ready to go. You don't have to worry about it.